Morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. Because remember that commercial? Hump Day. Hey. What time? What day is it? What day is it? It's Wednesday. It's Hump Day. Just me. If you know that commercial, then you just kind of chuckled on the inside a little bit. Well, it's Wednesday. It's Wealth Building Wednesday, and it's just a fun alliteration for me to go. Let's chat about wealth, something that we're very focused on here in the team, the Bosley team, and the coaching, and my wife and I in our conversations. And spent a couple hours with a company called Wealth Ability. It's Wealth Ability, all one word, wealthability.com. You can check it out. And it's a company by the author of this book named Tom Wheelwright, and he's a CPA. This is the second book. He's got a couple books. The first one is Tax Free Wealth, and the second one is The Win Win Wealth Strategy. 7 investments the government will pay you to make. So he goes through here and he talks about it a little bit. And I haven't read the book in its entirety. I've glazed over it and glossed over it. But if you want a copy of it, I'd love to share with you and kind of do it together and learn through this. But he's got 7 strategies, and the first introduction is kind of outlines what is the intention of the book and the thought process behind it. And he goes to acknowledge the government has really 5 jobs that they're looking to do. And we're partners with the government, and that's where the tax incentives come through, because the government, from Tom's perspective, says we got to keep the peace, we got to protect the people, feed the people, shelter the people, and educate the people. And if we can do that, the government's doing its job. Keep the peace, protect, feed, shelter, and educate the people. And then he says there's 7 categories that have the strongest tax incentives for to build tax-free wealth or deductions or incentives there, and that's through businesses, technology, real estate, energy, agricultural, insurance, and retirement. And and he says tax incentives are not gifts. Tax incentives are not loopholes. The definition of a loophole is an unintended consequence. I hear often it's a tax loophole. That just sounds shady or dirty. It's not a loophole. It's an incentive, and it's an incentive that the government offers to people, specifically and predominantly around businesses, technology, real estate, energy, agricultural, insurance, and retirement. And by doing that, they give you tax incentives because you are helping them keep the peace, protect the people, feed the people, shelter the people, and educate the people. So he goes through this, and he says we're partners with the government, and we can choose to be silent or active partners. Understand the game of taxes. You know, understand how the activity partner of how we can partner with them. So the government says, we like small businesses, we like entrepreneurs. Therefore, there's more tax incentives when you have an LLC. We like investors because landlords and investors create shelter, and that's one of their primary objectives. So, through real estate, through agricultural, and having land and protecting land, or solar, going back to the energy. So, we hear and see all these different incentives, and it's really goes back to those 7 categories to hit the 5 goals. So something that we are really focused on this year, not only in the business but also for our personal family, of going, how could we do good and align and partner with the government by just making the correct decisions, and by doing so we can be rewarded, incentivized by paying less taxes, and less taxes create more financial stability for us, which then can create more business opportunity there. A couple of things, and I'm like this much knowledgeable, right? This is a pursuit of knowledge. With this, we're likely going to partner with the company Wealth Ability, and that's a tax strategist and partner to help us just do the right things, from the structuring of our LLCs to making sure that we're protected to it's a thing like the Augusta rule. Anyone ever heard of the Augusta rule? Let's see, I've got a comment on here. Hey, I got a comment. Excellent point, Jason. Thank you for the excellent point, Jason. The Augusta rule, if you own a business, it was done and named after the Masters Augusta, because during the Masters, you can rent out your house for quite a lot of money, quite a lot of money there. And they named this law the Augusta rule, but you can do it anywhere, where you can rent out your house for, I believe it's up to 4 days a year at fair market value. And then by doing so, you can if you rent it out to your own business, well, it becomes a write-off for the business and an income for the household. And up to 4 days, the Augusta rule says you don't have to pay taxes on that. And that's the Augusta rule. So whether you want to rent your house out for retreats that you do or hosting parties at your house, that's the Augusta rule. And I throw parties at my house for our client appreciation events. We say, come on over, come to my house. And we do a fall party every year, and it's happening already. And if we're not aware of it, then we're just overpaying the taxes. And the IRS isn't there to go, hey, don't forget per line section 34962 WXYZ, you've got the Augusta rule here, and they're not going to go back and audit it. So it's just a reminder for you, and this is what Wealth Building Wednesday is just a thought process of going, if all we're doing is collecting income and then just paying the IRS based on what our perceived tax bracket is, and we're not getting strategic with our decisions of why are we doing something, does this make sense, how does this move it forward, or how does this not move it forward, then we could be, and I'm not even say overpaying, we could be appropriately paying taxes because of incorrect decisions. And I don't think people overpay or underpay taxes. I think they pay what their decisions allow them to pay. If you're married, you pay taxes differently than if you're single. If you're a veteran, it's different than if you have dependents, it's different. So where are your dependents? Where is that at? If you have a rental property, you pay a little bit different taxes than you would if you didn't. If you're 1099 versus W-2, and how does this all structure? And there's so many decisions that we're just still trying to figure out. But that is what I want to share with you today. We've been on here live about 5 or 6, 7 minutes. Do you guys have any questions? I know we've got a few viewers on here right now specifically, and I may or may not have the answer or at least the right direction. But if you've been thinking about building wealth, or how can you do it, or you've got money and you want to move it or shift it or park it, remember the 7 areas that they talk about. This is off memory now, but business, technology, real estate, agricultural, energy, retirement. Did I hit them all? I think that's 5 or 6. Then let's get you into it. Let's figure out how we can get into it and get with your financial advisor and get with your CPA and get with your tax strategist and get with your real estate savvy realtor to go, how can we take advantage of the income, take advantage of everything else, and be able to apply it towards one of these tax-friendly incentives to minimize or give us a rebate for our taxes. Well, I'm leading a financial committee here at the office, and we meet once a month. And we said on one hand, we want to go figure out how we can earn revenue. And on the other hand, this is how we can keep revenue. And every year, taxes are the biggest debt collector. When we have debt, even if you're debt free, as soon as you make a buck, you're not debt free because now you owe taxes. So we're going, how can we reduce that debt? How can we minimize that debt? And how can we do it not through loopholes? How can we do it through ways that are provided by the government, written in law as incentives, because it helps them do their job, which is keep the peace, protect the people, feed the people, shelter the people, educate the people. So there we are. Tom Wheelwright, win-win strategy or tax-free wealth. You can listen to him. He's got podcasts and interviews, and if you like this stuff, give it a listen. I'd love to hear what you think about it. And if you don't, well, thanks for watching anyway then. Appreciate you guys. Have a great Wednesday. Happy hump day. Take care. Bye-bye.